Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Me again, Shannon Fox here, the Pictures 2 channel. And I want to talk to you all about an article that was wrote, or actually more than the article, the tweet that was put out by Miss Paulina Luna. She is a fire-breathing dragon when it comes to setting them straight in the house. And there's no doubt about it, she speaks her mind loud as any of them. Actually as loud as Marjorie Taylor Greene and a few others that are just really what we need in Congress. Men and women that are willing to stand up and speak up and push, not just talk, but push for things to get done in Congress. Call out the inefficiency, the apathetic way that the Congress just does not do their job properly, is in no hurry to get things done, or is in no real in no real concern for some of the real problems that we could actually nip in the bud with a little bit of decent legislation. They don't even try, is my point. Well, Miss Paulina Luna is throwing a fit about none other than crazy George Soros and his son that need to be evicted from having access to this country. They need to have their passports revoked. They need to have their ability to do business in America, fund the Democrat Party, and things of that nature needs to be stopped. It would stop a lot of this crap that is going on in our country, including the riots, which are funded by these three-lettered organizations called NGOs, like the Open Society Foundation, which is founded by the Soros family, which a lot of you people know this stuff, but there is hundreds and hundreds of NGOs that have helped steal elections, push illegals into the country, do everything they can, including George Soros, everything they can to subvert the law, including hiring and bribing district attorneys and attorney generals all across the country in all these blue woke states, just to name a few of the things that George Soros and these NGOs are well known for. And promoting the whole immigration thing, promoting the whole trans thing, they're all into they're just NGO stands for nothing good, obviously. That's what I'm guessing, folks. A bunch of evil critters out there running these NGOs, getting rich through the Democrat Party, and these tyrants like George Soros, Klaus Schwab, and so many other people who got more money than they got sense. But I wanted to read this article to you folks and tell you that we may have a little resolution coming, or at least the conversation about investigations is actually happening. It says Paulina Luna demands Congress subpoena George Soros. Why hasn't this been done years ago? Well, because George Soros funds both sides. That's why. It says in a fiery post on X, Miss Luna, Florida representative, has called out the elephant in the room. Why has Congress never subpoenaed far-left billionaire globalist George Soros? Soros is a mastermind behind efforts to destabilize conservative governments, promote far left-wing agendas, particularly through his Open Society foundations, which have donated billions to various activist groups, political campaigns, and non-governmental organizations worldwide in order to help try to destroy America. The Gateway Punter has frequently criticized Soros for bankrolling radical movement, including those tied to open border policies, radical prosecutors refusing to lock up violent criminals, that's some bribe DAs, and far-left district attorney campaigns aimed at reshaping the U.S. justice system. That's all that lawfare crap. It says, before the election, George Soros attempted to purchase over 220 radio stations, mostly Hispanic radio stations, including the Odyssey radio station network, which reaches 165 million Americans, in order to manipulate elections and public opinion. Republicans on the House Oversight Committee, James Comer and Nick Langworthy, have launched an investigation. They're seeking documents and communications with the FCC to determine the agency's expedited the process to determine if the agency's expedited the process to benefit Soros. The investigation is ongoing, and the FCC, Federal Communications Committee, has agreed to provide relevant documents. A full commission vote on the deal also appears to be in progress. It says, taken to X, Ms. Luna says, honest question, why has Congress never subpoenaed George Soros before? Why am I only the first person to bring this up? This should have been done a long time ago. Now, that is the right answer. That is the right question, should I say. It says, boom, in one tweet, Luna tore into the veil of long-standing mystery in Washington. Why the man widely viewed as the puppet master behind radical leftist policies, globalist infiltration, and lawless district attorneys has never even faced a congressional scrutiny, never even been subpoenaed to come answer questions. George Soros has operated with near total immunity and impunity from accountability in the United States. His billions have helped tilt elections, influence media narratives, and fund woke chaos across the nation. Yet, no subpoenas. It says, independent researcher on X, MJ Truth Ultra, replied to Miss Luna as well and says, full stop. This is exactly what I don't understand. If George Soros is such a threat to America, why can't the government strip him of his citizenship, exile him, at the very least banish him and his organizations from the U.S., stop his NGOs from being able to do what they do? We have the presidency, the House, and the Senate, yet we can't figure out that one. Why not sanctions? The U.S. Treasury Foreign Asset Control, OFAC, can freeze assets, prohibited transactions from individuals deemed threat to national security, like George Soros, involved in illicit activities under the Global Magnitsky Act or Executive Order 13818. Meaning if you're trying some bullcrap like pumping illegals into our country and it is against our laws and you're funding it, we should be able to strip you of the right to fund it, make it illegal, stop the transaction, not allow it to happen. So why is him and his son, Alex Soros, being allowed to operate in this country as basically the arm of the Democrat Party? And George Soros supported the Black Lives Matter riots. He supports the trans movement. He supports the Ukraine war, endless wars. He supports us eating bugs and owning nothing because he thinks that's what will make us happy. It is time to finally do something about these people that we know are part of the problem. Why is nobody ever going to try to do anything to stop this man? Is he so rich that he is above the law? If not, how come we don't have more politicians asking the same question Miss Luna is asking? Because a lot of them get money vicariously through other NGOs that are filtering down money from the main one, which is Open Society Network. The Open Society Foundation. And this is the way I see it. Oh, crazy ass George Soros. He's got Hillary. Got James Comey. Got everybody in there. There's Susan Rice, looks like. Obama. And of course, old Pencil Neck. We know that guy. And so many others that are on the take. Every one of those district attorneys that went after Trump, the Alvin Braggs and the Letitia James, and all of them are all Soros district attorneys and attorney generals, all getting paid under the table to try to F our country over, including try to everything they try to do to Trump. Now, we may not have a solution at this point to everything that is going on, but we do need to get investigations started and some repercussions going for those people that are just truly beyond help. There's nothing we can do to convince George Soros not to continue to try to destroy our country, so we need to be playing defense and go after him, and not just defense, but we need to go on offense too and go after him for the crimes that we can all say he has definitely committed. All right, we're going to go ahead and play this video here. This is a great idea. It says the FBI is just launching investigations into who was funding the riots. Well, of course, it was George Soros and several other of these NGOs. But if they're going to go ahead and get into it, let's do it. Let's trace the money. Let's find out exactly who was involved so we can throw some charges at them for domestic terrorism funding.
Hello, I'm Bill Asaley, United States Attorney for the Central District of California.
And I'm Akil Davis, the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles Field Office.
And I'm Tyler Hatcher, the Special Agent in charge of IRS Criminal Investigation here in Los Angeles.
The right to assemble and protest peacefully is protected by law. Unfortunately, we have seen individuals whose intentions are to cause damage and to assault law enforcement. For example, last week we arrested an individual who was charged with conspiracy to commit and aiding and abetting civil disorders. These violent agitators put peaceful demonstrators at risk.
The FBI and our federal partners will continue to investigate individuals and organizations who are knowingly funding or committing acts of violence against law enforcement, as well as the destruction of property.
We are currently tracing money to determine who is providing funding for these riots. Funding crime doesn't just affect the criminals, it also disrupts entire communities. Each dollar funneled into illegal operations fuels violence, undermines law and order, and perpetuates fear. Make no mistake, we will identify and disrupt financial networks supporting these criminal activities.
Think before you act. The legal consequences for financing or aiding and abetting these crimes are harsh. They include imprisonment and fines.
If you have any information regarding individuals and/or organizations providing financial support to commit acts of violence or destruction of property, please dial 1-800-CALL-FBI or visit tips.fbi.gov. You can also upload your images and videos to fbi.gov/LA officer assault.
The United States government will continue to safeguard constitutionally protected rights, but we will not tolerate assaults on law enforcement, destruction of property, or any violent acts that puts the community in harm's way.
Now, folks, I'm over here on Grok, and I'm just reading the possible charges that can be thrown at George Soros. I asked Grok that question. Possibly terrorism, incitement of violence, fraud, extortion. So many things that he could be possibly charged with, but the concrete evidence at this point hasn't been put forward because there's never been an investigation into any of his non-governmental organization dealings. His funding of criminal prosecution reform, district attorneys should legally be against the law. It's bribery. Potential charges for that bribery. Actually funding several campaigns, more than he actually campaign finance. Allegations could be thrown at him at any time over the money that he spends to try to get these people elected. And collaboration to try to take global control. That would be a hard one to prove, even though they preach about it every year at the Davos. So some of this stuff is conspiracy theory. The statute of limitation on several federal crimes against possible George Soros has run out due to the fact there are limitations of 5 years. But since he has been actively part of the Democrat Party for the last 20 years, it probably wouldn't be too hard to dig up some current dirt on him. I'd be happy to hear Trump say, "We're going after George Soros." That would be, I think the whole world would celebrate at this point. Since George Soros has been convicted of insider trading in France in 2002, he settled it in he also settled a stock manipulation case in 1977. And beyond this, he's had no other credible evidence against him, but he has had a lot of allegations and support for evidence for charges of election interference, sedition, conspiracy, terrorism, and other crimes alleged to conspiracy theories. His political donations and philanthropy, while controversial, are largely legal, even though we don't appreciate him at all. I would say that not everything he does is legal. Has always approached claims about George Soros with skepticism given the prevalence of misinformation. Now, why is Grok trying to tone down the George Soros conspiracy? Do we have a left-wing search engine that Grok is using, like Associated Press or something? It does look like Associated Press is some of the... Let's look over here real quick. Alrighty, now who do we got for George Soros information sources? Wikipedia, AP News, the Daily Mail, no, The Independent, Fox News, BBC, Reuters, and Financial Express. I haven't seen factcheck.org. Oh, there's another left wing. I haven't seen too many conservative outlets over here on Grok. Does Grok not use conservative sources in search engine searches? Because if you're going to Wikipedia for your truth, AI Grok, you are definitely looking in the wrong basket for those answers. That is definitely an issue as well. It looks like Grok has been, if not compromised, has been trained to promote left-wing propaganda as a countermeasure for anything that you want to throw out there, like, is George Soros a crook? Immediately Axios and Associated Press and Wikipedia pop up. No, he's not a crook. No, he's all good. We've got no proof of nothing at this point. I don't like it, folks, but that is part of the whole system. I do believe Grok is one of the better AI systems, but you get what you get when you're dealing with AI and these woke computer programmers that probably have set the algorithm of the AI to source all its information from most of these left-wing outlets, and that just seems to be the case, folks. That's what I got for you today, folks. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. We got to get the George Soroses, the NGOs, the Open Society Foundations. We got to get these people out of our country. And like Trump said yesterday, he went from being the hunted to being the hunter. Well, God help us if he doesn't try to stop some of these evil people that are steadily working against him and the American agenda. And I'm talking about people like George Soros. Let's go ahead and get Trump with it fresh. Let's have somebody put it on Trump's mind that George Soros is a part of the problem. If you want to get to the bottom of these riots, the immigration problem, the transgender movement, you got to look no further than George